Girlfriend knew she had herpes and didn't tell me. I'm upset. My 28M and girlfriend 26M and I have been together for 4 months and have started having sex 1 month ago. She told me this morning she has herpes as we were beginning to have sex. She then stopped it short and told me she noticed some redness down there, which is the early signs of an outbreak. She told me she got it from her ex. This makes me upset because I would have liked to have been informed before we started having sex a month ago that she has herpes and that it's my choice if I would like to have it or not. Now I feel like that choice is taken away from me and I may have contacted the STD as we have sex fairly regularly. Going to get tested tomorrow. I also feel like I've been lied and betrayed too, as she told me that when we first started having sex she was clean. And the herpes didn't come to her mind apparently. I don't know how to feel or to react. TLDR. GF may have given me herpes. I didn't know she had it. You have every right to be upset. She should have disclosed this info before you ever had sex. Few people would blame you if you launched her over this. This is absolutely not okay. She denied you the right to informed consent. It is absolutely okay to break up with her over this. You have every right to feel that way. Withholding information about an infectious virus, even if it isn't life-threatening, is not on. Stay with her or not. It's up to you, but you've learned something about her personality. You're definitely allowed to be upset. That aside, herpes tests are extremely inaccurate unless they take a swab from an open source, so even if a blood test comes back negative, it could be wrong. Just a heads up in case you find yourself with an outbreak in the future. It's shitty of someone who has herpes to intentionally withhold that information from you when the relationship moves into the sexual level. Disclosure is at the discretion of the positive party, whether they tell you right away or after dating for a while. But it should always happen before the sex starts. You have the right to determine if you want to take that risk. And she denied you that. That being said, if she hasn't had an outbreak while you've been sexually active with her, the chances that you caught it are about 4%, assuming that she doesn't take daily antivirals and you didn't use a condom. Herpes can take up to 6 weeks to be detected in a STD test. Get tested today, but plan on a follow-up in 6 weeks to be certain of your status. As someone with genital herpes, this was very wrong of your girlfriend to do, and I'm sorry she took this choice away from you. I know there's a lot of stigma around herpes, especially genital. However, it doesn't ever justify not disclosing. These things should always be disclosed before sex. I've had to disclose to all of my partners I got it from my first time, and they all have been open-minded to learning more. Ask for a blood test, because if you don't have an active outbreak, swabbing the area for it will come negative. Blood tests only work if you contracted it in the last 3 months. Depending on how long she's had it, she likely doesn't have outbreaks very often, which means your risk of contracting herpes is low. I've had herpes for 2 years now. I run a club at my university to educate others on it. If you want to talk to someone about it, in regards to symptoms, what to look out, what to take if you can't get prescribed Valtrex, most common treatment for herpes. There are over-the-counter alternatives to help with symptoms, or if you're just worried and need someone to talk to, I'm here. If you have any questions about herpes, my DMs are open. No way that I would stay with a person who did this. What a betrayal. I am hoping that the test comes out negative. Regardless, please dump her. And if she starts whining about you holding her condition against her, Just tell her that, I'm dumping you because you exposed me to a life-changing medical condition and did not have the decency to tell me before we engaged in a sexual relationship. Unless you have recent testing showing you are negative. You might already have it too. Most people that have it don't know. Because lots of people are asymptomatic. And it is not part of a normal STD panel in the US. While her doing this isn't healthy at all. Any legal grounds are probably close to 0%. Unless you have proof of negative tests in the recent past. I'd be pissed. In the future, ask the STI status of all partners. How is she not your ex by now? In many states, not sure where you live, it's illegal not to share that beforehand. You were lied to and betrayed. She put your health at risk and didn't seem to care. Dump. Going to get tested tomorrow. HSV infections require several months after last exposure. 3. For accurate results. Herpes select IgG1, IgG2 ELISA as the test you should use. Not an IgM or IgP test, those are ancient and crap. It does have a low rate of false positives. For indexes less than equals 3.5 usually. And if it false positives, you should request Western blot from University of Washington. I don't know that getting tested will help you too much at this stage with herpes. I get cold sores, which is a form of herpes. HSV1. I've been getting them since I was 4 or 5 years old. I've been tested for STIs including herpes and have always gotten the results back as negative. Even though I know there's no way that can be true. I just recently, at 27 years old, got a result that said positive. It's so easy to get false negatives if you don't currently have an outbreak. With that being said, definitely get tested for everything else and probably once more at the 3-month mark just to make sure. Also, break up with her. What she did was unacceptable. It's not okay for her to knowingly pass something on to you. That's so inconsiderate and irresponsible. The whole, "I forgot," is bullshit. I've had herpes since before I was even sexually active. Don't even remember a time that I didn't have herpes, and that's not something I ever forget to mention to a partner. Especially when explicitly asked. She is a snake. You have a right to be pissed, and honestly, if I was in your situation, I'm not sure I would want to be around that person. It is one thing having an STI without knowing, but suspecting in and possibly passing it on is just unacceptable in my opinion. However, I would like to add that you should always get tested before starting a new relationship or having sex with someone. Especially if you intend to have sex without protection. It means if you do catch anything, you know exactly where it came from. And risk passing it to loads of people. I personally wouldn't get in a relationship with someone who refused to get tested. I never heard too much about herpes. Then in the last month on this sub. Is this some kind of propaganda? Did you wear protection? Did you ask her about any health history before getting together? I agree with others. It's an obviously shitty thing she did, and there's no excuse. She is 100% morally in the wrong. But sex, especially unprotected, is an inherently dangerous act. And it's your responsibility to do your due diligence to protect yourself whenever you do it. Even birth control plus condom is not 100% effective in preventing disease or pregnancy. I hope you get lucky and didn't get the virus. Either way, take this as a scary learning opportunity. Oh, and absolutely break up and don't sleep with this girl anymore. Herpes can be pretty tough to test for. Blood can be inaccurate, and some clinics will only test lesions. Honestly, I'd leave her. If she lies about shit like that, what else could she have lied about? Go get tested, bro, and leave her lying ass.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.